Jay here, Stretford, Paddock. That's Joe Smith. Arsenal won. Manchester United won. Whatever it was. But then in penalties, Manchester United going through. And justice was served on it. We've got justice on the thumbnail, Joe. Yeah. Through the fourth round of the FA Cup, but that's almost irrelevant. The main thing here is that despite the best efforts of the referee, knocking us down to 10 men, giving them a penalty, all the rest of it, although Delo played his part in the 10 men, to be fair, but the referee was pretty poor. We're up against it, but Manchester United persevered, stepped up. Bayern Day, man of the match. I think officially we've got a little poll running as well, which I'll get into. Loads of players who just put in great performances, and United go through in the FA Cup after beating Arsenal at their ground, and deservedly so. Amazing performance, an amazing game where we had to do everything to win. It wasn't one that we got lucky or that we had to, it came on a plate for some reason. We really had to dig in. And the referee just had an embarrassing performance, top to bottom. The penalty, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a bit more detail, was genuinely one of the worst decisions I've seen in a long time. And one of the few things that's given me reason to think VAR might not be the worst thing in the world. And I love that we had to do all of those things. I love that we had to battle for an hour with 10 men and that players became unlikely heroes, the likes of Bayern, who had a stinker against Tottenham, arguably put us out of the Carabao Cup, has put us through to the next round of the FA Cup. Joshua Zirkzee, another one, what was it, sort of 2 weeks ago, being booed off at Old Trafford, all of a sudden he scores the winner to put us through and put in a very good shift when he came on as well. It was just another, following on from the Liverpool game, spirited, hard-working, much improved performance from a team that I can see signs of togetherness about. Like when I watched them, it seemed like for so long we've been this team where we're easy to beat and, you score one, you'll score three. Well, today they got a goal within 2 minutes of Dalot being sent off and didn't score again for an hour. That is amazing by Manchester United. And like you said, the fourth round of the FA Cup, you can get there by beating Stevenage. Yeah. But to do it away at Arsenal, that performance and that result by itself is worth a hell of a lot for Ruben Amorim.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it under Ruben Amorim. We've had some bad games under Amorim. We've had some difficult results. We know all that. But you can see what he's trying to do. And look, we waited for a few years for us to go to the Etihad and put in a performance and get a result. We were shocking at Anfield almost every season since Van Gaal left. And we've got a result at Anfield. I know it was only a draw, but it was a well-deserved draw that we could have won. Go to the Emirates as well. Our record at the Emirates is poor. Yep. It's really poor over the last few years. Go there and you get a result despite going down to 10 men for a good, ended up being 50 minutes of the game, counting extra time. So you can't ignore that. You can't ignore a manager coming in and not being able to make any signings. Obviously, he's coming into a team that's struggling. Confidence is low. There's all this been questions about what he's trying to do. 3-4-2-1, does it work? Can he, can players, adapt to that system? Is it going to work in the English football and all the rest of it? He's had to deal with the Marcus Rashford situation. He's had to deal with the fact that we don't have an out-and-out goal scorer. That's not been a thing for Manchester United since Ruben Amorim's come in, and yet he's managed to get some big results, and he's managed to keep us in a cup competition as well. Where after you mentioned there Bayern Day in the League Cup, a few people, myself included, were like, Did he risk it a bit too much in that game? Did he, make too many changes? Brings him back in for this game, and I was worried about it. I thought, Onana's not exactly been tearing up trees over the last few weeks, but he's a better goalkeeper than Bayern Day. But Bayern Day, we've got a poll here. Who was your man of the match? Bayern Day got the official one. On our poll, 68% have voted for him. Yeah. Harry Maguire got 20%, De Ligt 11%, and the comment who, which I'll get to in a minute, 1%. But you can see there, vast majority, an overwhelming majority, going for Bayern Day, and rightly so. I'm going to get into some of the comments, and I'm going to come back to you. Manny Perez, welcome to the academy. Andre Barbosa, who's a member of the first team for 49 months, says, against Liverpool, we saw a structured performance that shows we can, I think that's Dre, we know, can compete with the best. Today's performance showed that we finally have the desire. Kaz Mofo, what a relief. We deserve that. Redemption, the lads played well and stuck it out to the end. Turkish King for the win. We need this momentum. Mick Holohan predicted we will win on penalties. Hold me, Jay. Yurko Alvarez says, it was great to see players get stuck in and brawl for each other after the penalty. Yeah. Great signs of togetherness and unity in the squad. Abhinav Verma says, the same refs, our VAR as well, it's there, so not sure it makes any difference. Although looking forward to Ronaldo Brown on Twitter. You want to go and check that out. I think he's already gone to war with Arsenal. Danny Foster, who's been a member of the academy. I've got loads of super chats here, by the way, for 35 months, but we'll get to some of them later. How good have De Ligt and Mazraoui been this year? Got so much stick up the paddock. Akash K says, what an outstanding performance, and in particular, Matthijs de Ligt and Maguire. I slated Bayern after the Spurs game. He made me eat my words today. Someone told hello to walk back home to Manchester. Laughing emojis. GGMU. Philip Merchant, who's been a member of the first team 53 months, says, you boys make watching this team bearable. How about a 5-year badge? Yeah, we're going to sort it out. You mentioned Bayern Day.
Yeah.
Obviously, great performance by him. Saved 3 penalties in total, was it? 2, sorry. So he saved 2 penalties in total. Did really well. Some good saves, some big saves as well. Like the save, I think it was from Declan Rice late on in the game. Just phenomenal performance. Also, Harry Maguire getting a lot of credit from a lot of people, deservedly so. I mean, the penalty wasn't a penalty. He didn't give away a penalty as far as I'm concerned. It was a ludicrous decision. But he put in a real performance today, and he wasn't having it, was he? He was getting in Arsenal players' faces and kicking off a bit, and I don't mind a bit of that.
Yeah, too often we've looked soft as a team, and especially when things start going against us. Instead of hunkering down and acting as a team and fighting and pushing back, we become a soft target and we become easy to play against, and we throw our arms in the air and we whine and we bicker between each other, and we basically roll over. We saw the opposite today. Dalot gets sent off, rightly so. I'm not, the ref was appalling, but he actually got that right. We conceded a goal very quickly from that, and then after that point, we fought, and like you said, it was sort of typified by the penalty, which is one of the worst penalty decisions I've seen watching football. It was back to those old days of trying to kid the referee every week, and that the snowball that happened that led to VAR. It reminded me of that. It was an absolutely ludicrous decision, and the referee had painted himself into a corner because it's like he came out going, I'm going to be really hard today, I'm going to give everything so that I have control of the game, and it made him lose control of the game. Because it didn't stop the tackles happening, it just meant that every single time anyone got touched, he had to give a booking. And if they'd already been given a free kick against them once, he had to give a yellow card. And it meant that the fact that anything happened in the box, I've set a precedent where if you go down, I give it. And he just gave them a penalty for no reason whatsoever. Maguire completely unjustly punished there. I thought he was excellent today, Maguire. Every time the ball came in, heading it away, good on the ball, some good last-ditch tackles as well. De Ligt, that clearance off the line, or basically off the line that you mentioned before, was absolutely amazing. He's sprinting back towards his own goal. The ball is about 1.5 feet off the goal line, and somehow he manages to clear it, and clear it comfortably as well. Absolutely fantastic. But yeah, certain people just absolutely showed up today, and one of those performances that the comment mentioned earlier on. We've played City away, Liverpool away, and Arsenal away. We've won 2 and drawn one of those games. That's a complete contrast to even Ten Hag's entire tenure.
We had that record, didn't we? Or against the top 8, I think it was, which was top 9 that became a thing.
Yeah.
Well, I think we took 1 point away at Spurs and we lost all the rest.
Yeah.
And then you look already, you've took a point at Anfield, beaten City, and knocked Arsenal out of the FA Cup. I mean, this is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's caretaker manager results in some of these grounds. It really is. Hands up for the Panther says, we know about the Calciopoli scandal. What if there is a potential English FA referee scandal? Bribes, bets on matches, scared of teams, or incompetence. It's one of them. This needs to be investigated. I'll be honest with you. I thought the referee was shocking, and I might have said a few things during the watch along that, about check his bank account, whatever. I don't necessarily know it is corruption. I think it was more. I think what happened is a combination of things. One, like you say, if you start blowing up for soft fouls, you got to keep doing that. Yeah. You don't suddenly go, oh, well, everything's a foul, and then stop. Going back to the game, we mentioned it on the watch along. When Arsenal came to Old Trafford after 49 games unbeaten, they wanted to get to 5th there. The referee made a decision early doors that he was going to be pretty lenient. Yeah. And you saw challenges and tackles flying in left, right and centre. He basically thought, I'm going to let both teams bash each other up, which kind of worked in our advantage because we were harder than them. And we were just kicking him all over the place. He was very lenient. This referee was the other way around. What annoyed me was he was more sort of pedantic, if you will, against United. And the booking against Martinez in particular, and obviously the penalty decision was so egregious, I just couldn't believe it. But I think it was more of him deciding, I'm going to be quite harsh, and then also get the crowd maybe getting in his head a little bit. Arteta, there was a time when he seemed to react to what Arteta was telling him what to do. The Arsenal players crowd him. I mean, plus not having VAR, I think might have had an effect as well. Someone mentioned it, that maybe not having VAR helps us because maybe Ugarte or even Garnacho could have got in trouble for that melee. But then you don't know what happens if there's VAR, because if there's VAR, that penalty's given and it's probably stopped by VAR and you go to the monitor, so you don't have all that nonsense that you have. No. So you don't really know. We're getting some more super chats, we'll come back to you. Anton Shopsky says, amazing character from the whole team. Proud of their Bayern Day man of the match. I really hope this mentality will keep on. Subben says, looks like teacher of dark arts played dark art on his own player. Havertz, buzzing for Josh, liking this great redemption. It was 9 versus 11 in Ten Hag. FPL Mikel says, no need for Viagra tonight. Taylon says, I absolutely love the FA Cup. As a Turk, I'm even happier with Altay's performance. And beating FaZe 7854 Arteta at the Emirates makes it so sweet. Jibak Sahu says, when was the last time this lot made us proud by showing sheer grit and fight? Feels like the good old days. We've won games, but not like this in a while. Jasu Bengenboy says, when we sell Casemiro, no need to spend money on replacement. It's already in the team. Toby Collier, amazing when he was subbed in. Can be a big and important player for us in the future. Jesus Christ, as we beat 12 with 10 today. Amorim is him, brave with everything, selections, tactics, subs, and even penalty takers. I hate the word, and I get it, redemption, because redemption feels like, you've been a murderer and then you've got out of jail and started a charity for homeless people or something. It's like something so drastic, like having a bad 30 minutes against Newcastle. You don't need to redeem yourself. Like, there isn't a redemption, but I get it. It's a word that people use, and I understand the reason it gets thrown around, and also it's a good pun on red. But Joshua Zirkzee, who's been through a lot, got him booed at the Newcastle game, which was terrible. But he showed resilience, hasn't he? Because that's this kind of game and performance and reaction from fans where you can go, you know what? This has been a nightmare for me. The manager that brought me in is gone. I'm getting booed off my own fans. Like, there's talk of me being able to go back to Italy. Maybe I just go. And he hasn't, has he? He said, no, do you know what? From all the reports we hear, he wants to stay at United and fight. He's done that. He came on at Anfield and was, a bit unlucky maybe that his pass wasn't quite as crisp as it needs to be for Maguire and he didn't get finished or whatever. Came on today. I thought he was fantastic as soon as he came on. He was. I thought he was.
The game state, as they say, sort of suited him today a little bit. Because I think if we were desperate for a goal or we were a goal or two down and you bring him on, you start to nitpick the final touch and the final pass, which, in fairness to him, he didn't really have to do today. His job today was to work hard and make the ball stick the odd time that we managed to get it out of our box. And he was excellent at that. He held the ball up well, he fought well, he had a couple of good shots as well, so I'm not completely saying he was impotent in front of goal. He looked to have some of our best chances, but I do think it was the perfect situation for him, which is great. And sometimes you need that when you want to start building confidence. Sometimes you need all you need to do today is fight your centre back, hold the ball up, and work really hard. And he did that absolutely perfectly. And then to cap it off as well, stuck in that last penalty to win us the game. Really good, and that's the sort of thing that can give you a big boost in confidence. There's a few of them today, like I mentioned, Bayern Day is another one. We talk about redemption. We said him before, but Harry Maguire is now becoming, it's acceptable to think Maguire is a very good defender again, or certainly one that's very good in this system, which you go back 18 months, you'd be laughed at for saying that. I think many people were laughed at for saying that. And it's a team now where, this is the thing with football, it's incredible, isn't it? You go back, a week and a day, and you could have rightfully said you want to sell anyone in this team and no one would disagree with you.
No.
Whether it's Bruno, other than maybe Ahmad, you could say, well, even Mazraoui's having a bit of a bad patch. De Ligt didn't work as a transfer. Martinez isn't what he used to be. Bruno's not a captain. Xerxes awful. And no one would say a word. Now, 2 games later, and it feels like you want to fight for these players and you want to defend these players, and they're likeable and they're working hard and they're representing Man United the way we want them to. It's incredible. And those big games, sometimes they can come at the right time, because you looked at the fixture list, we've just lost big games, we've just lost to Wolves, we've lost to Bournemouth, and you've got Liverpool and Arsenal as your next 2 fixtures. That's a nightmare, and instead it's become an absolute dream for Ruben Amorim, and now we've got a team that we all like again. It's incredible.
Yeah, we've got some quotes. I'll get a quote from Bayern Day, spoke to the BBC after the game. He says, I just help my team, I'm working every day, I am patient, I just want to help this great team, I want to make everyone happy for this great club, I'm working here every day. If you are not playing, it doesn't matter. You have to be ready every minute, every second. If you are a Man United player, you have to be ready always. Ruben Amorim is talking with us every day and he wants to help us. We love him and he's always trying to do his best. He has a very good relationship with the players and we are trusting him. He is trusting him. We are fighting together, even if the referee's a twat. All right, I might have added that last little bit on there. But he said the rest of it. No, I don't care what Michael Richards says. I think we've got some quotes from Amorim. Says, I felt since the first minute that today was our day. I felt a connection with our staff and our fans. The United fans, obviously, you get a bigger allocation, don't you? I think it was like 8,000, was it, United fans there today? You could hear him just coming through the telly. We've been chatting to people that are at the game who said you could see the away end was absolutely bouncing. throughout the game as well, it's like Arsenal came to life when they got a goal, didn't they?
Yeah.
But United fans, as always, doing themselves proud in terms of getting behind the team, especially the away fans. They've got a really good reputation and deservedly so. We kind of say this after a good result, don't we? And we said it after the Liverpool result. How important now do you think it is we keep this momentum going? Because we kind of have. After the Liverpool game, big result, big point, but I know it's like, the point, but obviously it's a big one. Go to Arsenal, knocking them out of the FA Cup. We've got Leicester to come as well in the FA Cup, by the way, Ruud van Nistelrooy again. How important is it we build on this, and we'll get Macca's thoughts?
Yeah.
Where's that?
Old Trafford.
Old Trafford. Yeah, these are, like we said before, these are the sorts of games
Check my
that
fucking direct debits.
they count for more than just a win. In terms of building a team and building a relationship, these are massive for a new manager. So, yeah, I mean, Leicester will be a good game, but such a massive win. Adam, come here. What a day. What a moment.
I fucking hate them, you know. I properly hate
Adam
them
McCall's there, in case you haven't noticed.
I hate them bastards. And you know what?
Go on.
The referee, I'm glad we can say this now, having won.
Yeah.
Because when you lose, it's like, of course you're going to blame the referee when you lose. Because, you know.
Yeah,
that's what
it's
losers
different,
do.
isn't it, when you do that, when you've lost.
But when you beat them and then you can go, well, actually, the referee was fucking abysmal today. And we still beat you in your own gaff with 10 men.
Yeah.
And you had the referee on your team. He may as well have worn them all white strips today because he was just giving everything to them. And look, the Diogo Dalot second yellow was a second yellow. But all of the other decisions that were going on were crazy. Like, the penalty was never a penalty. There was some decisions that weren't given against Manchester United, like Bruno Fernandes getting chopped down on the edge of their box. And then somehow he gets booked out of all of that. Like, some of the decisions there today were crazy. And the manager made some brave choices as well. He took Ugarte off where maybe he could have kept him on.
Yeah, that felt really weird at the time,
It did feel weird.
For
He brought on
Malacia.
Malacia. And we still managed to get through to penalty shootout and beat him. Oh, I hate them so bad, you know. Oh, it's so good to beat them.
It is.
I fucking hate them.
I'll name this podcast later. It was gifted a Stretford Paddock membership. Big thank you to you. Also, Ross Murphy says, Bruno, Ahmad, Yoro, Martin, Xerxes. Pressure, what pressure? Come on, United. Mark Lennon says, I told you that kit is always bad luck for Arsenal. Biraj.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Yeah. Biraj GC says, I hate playing Arsenal. The dark arts BS that they love so much has made them sway from the actual football.
You know the thing is, on that super chat, the dark art stuff and them being tough guys on that, they're all pussies.
The dark arts basically amounts to them just going down, really, is in pretending
trying to win
I
fouls.
don't think you give anyone credit for the dark arts if you haven't won out with it.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't win the FA Cup using the dark arts 5 years ago. They won it because they had a decent team that played well in those games against Chelsea and City. Like, they've not done anything where you go, they won the Champions League because of the dark arts, or they've won the title because of the dark arts. They've not done anything. In many ways, they've gone backwards.
Ten Hag did
since
more
they started doing
not
that.
using the dark arts than Arteta has using it.
Like,
it's just a...
The whole point of the dark arts is it's successful.
Yeah.
That's why you do it. It's not entertaining. It's not like, the fans don't all love it. It can be a bit gritty, but it's like, okay, it works, but it's not working for them because they're out of the competition. They're struggling in the Carabao. Yeah. And they're struggling in the league a little bit as well. They don't look like they're going to win the league. No. So the dark arts is a load of bollocks.
The dark arts is rubbish. They haven't got the dark arts really,
No.
They just had a referee on their side today.
Also,
and it sounds mental to say, and it sounds like one of these. I may as well stick my tinfoil hat on, but they just had the referee.
No, it was a stinking performance from was it Andy Madler, the referee?
The dark arts basically amounts to going over easily when someone touches you and playing for corners. It's not really dark arts, is it? It's not like
playing for set pieces.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's genuinely. I know people say it, but it's Stoke, and it is, but just with slightly better players. But if you, like you said, Jay, if you're not winning games with it and you're not winning trophies with it, then it's just a bad style of play.
How many people we got on the live, by the way?
7,192.
Right, so we're 700 and odd away from 780.
All right, sorry.
So if 10% of those who, if you look at the stats, 50% of the people that watch aren't usually subscribed. So if you hit that subscribe
button, can we have a link to the subscribe in the chat, please? We'll put a link in the chat. Also, just to finish, Biraj's super chat says all they do is control possession and try and get a foul, and the fans are miserable. Peter, who's been a member of the academy for 28 months, says Bet Ronaldo is buzzing. His Twitter is going to be fire. Also, we've heard from Mikel Arteta.
What's he said? The absolute fringe.
He said, incredible how we don't win that game. That's it, basically, to sum up. Yeah,
what? He thought they should have won that game.
I don't know. He just said
To
incredible.
be fair, they did have a
about
lot of
1,000
shots
chances.
inside the
I have got some
six-yard
stats. The stats
Wait,
are.
what do you mean he thinks they should have won? To be fair, they did have about 8 shots from behind our goalkeeper and somehow still didn't score.
Yeah, they had 70% possession.
Yeah.
They had 26 shots to our 7. And I think the XG, if you cared about that kind of thing, was 3.15 to Arsenal, 0.27 to Manchester United.
Now
But there's
that
only one result or
is the real
stat that
quiz.
matters, isn't there?
Yeah.
And that's the one that says they're shit at pens and we're not.
Yeah, the stat that matters is who's got the more buy-in dears.
Yes.
And we have one.
Simon Doyle says Adam is bang on about the ref, biased as fuck. Liam Westy, Jay, can I kiss your head to celebrate? Yes, you can.
Shall I do it for him?
Go on, kiss me head. There you go.
son.
That was
Yeah.
That's
Hit that like
Like
button
bar
and
test.
subscribe
It's
to
not
the
the first
channel.
time I've kissed his
Come on.
head.
Yeah.
Not
we've-
usually is.
Do you know what? He's kissed me head. Ronnie broke me nose. It's all happening today. and
Ronnie
he's
did break your nose, didn't he?
Yeah, he's-
Me and Ronnie fucking hate Arsenal, you know.
I know
You've
you
gotta
do.
realise
I
that.
love that. Do you know
I
what I mean?
couldn't watch that.
I love
penalty
it.
shootout.
We need a result like that.
But I couldn't watch
penalty.
penalty. I can't watch penalty shootouts anyway. Like, even I remember, like we said it on the stream, the 08 one.
Yeah.
Obviously, completely different circumstances. But I was just on the floor in a mess, like just covering my eyes in the screen in the Palace Hotel. My dad's gripping me up, like fucking watch it. I'm like, I don't want to watch it.
Put it in your eyes.
Watch it now. Watch it. No, no,
Two picks there.
I
Like
was in that picture of that. I don't know where it's from. It's obviously never watched the film, but someone's like grabbing. some
Bird.
old
It's
lady.
bird box, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, he's got that. Like, if you look at it, it sends you doolally, and he's doing that to that woman. Like, watch it, isn't it beautiful? That's Macca's
That's you
dad.
watching penalty
In
shootouts.
2008.
I'm so happy for Joshua Zirkzee as well. But
Yeah.
not only did he score the winning penalty, but his performance when he come on was pretty good as well.
No, it was.
Because one of the things that, and I like Rasmus Højlund, so I'm not particularly digging him out, but one of the things that he didn't do well today was holding the ball up. And obviously he's got a difficult time. There's 2 very good centre-backs behind him. But Joshua Zirkzee was kind of dropping into those pockets. Maybe it helped we were down to 10 men.
Yeah.
In that whenever he was picking up the ball, they had so many men forward that he would be in a little bit more space. But when he was getting on the ball, and I know we could have put Amad Diallo through a little bit earlier in that one instance, but he was very good on the ball, winning fouls and all those kind of stuff. So there was a time where he megged like 3 players at once, didn't he?
Oh, mate, there's loads of little moments there you can clip up. Tom Boyce, who's been a member of the first team 30 months, says Joshua Zirkzee did well when he came on. I think he has a future at United, surely. Also, what I mentioned, Toby Collier came on again into a difficult game at the Emirates, started 10 men, and absolutely put himself about the lad. Was he 20 years old? I think that's like his 3rd appearance for United.
Yeah.
So you got to give him credit. Right, it's not easy. I think you could mention almost any player. They've all done well, and they've all played a part in what's been a very, very good win for Manchester United. And we go marching on. What is it next? Rangers on Thursday? Is it?
No,
We've got Rangers on
Southampton.
Thursday.
Southampton. Sorry, not Rangers.
Mate,
Southampton.
if we don't smash Rangers to
No.
bits, I'm jumping in the canal.
There you
I'm going to
go.
be with Webby in the canal.
And you can put that on camera.
I hate Rangers as much as I hate Arsenal.
Wow. There you go. There's something to look
Also,
forward to.
it's not
Great
really
game.
Rangers, is it? What is it? Sevco.
Yeah. But
South
we've got
Coast.
Southampton before that anyway. There's a bottom half of the table
We'll
clashing
lose
against
against
Southampton.
Southampton, but
No, we won't. We'll never lose again.
We're not losing again.
We're not losing again.
No, I
Xerxes
think
is going to carry us through that game.
We're set up really well for these big games. You know what the problem is? When we go into the games against the likes of Southampton, Bournemouth, Newcastle, where's Ethan?
Yeah, the little teams.
Yeah, the little teams.
Oh,
When we go into the games against those teams, I think we kind of try and do things probably a little bit freestyle. Probably think we can just win this game.
Yeah, we think we're too good to
And whereas when
do it
we're in the
properly.
Arsenals and the Liverpools and the Cities, we think, right, listen to what the manager told us, do their instructions right through. Oh, mate, I'm so happy with
So
them.
glad.
I fucking hate them. Even if we go out against Leicester, I don't care.
I love that.
It's
I
really
don't care.
small time.
Hey, yeah, I don't care.
To coin a phrase of Andy Tate, I don't care.
I don't care. We're going to be hearing from Andy Tate shortly, actually. We're going to hear from Andy Tate. We're going to be having a bit of post-match analysis with you, Joseph, as well, where you're going through the major talking points. So make sure, hit that subscribe button, right? There's a link in the chat, yeah? Like Macca said, if you've not subscribed yet, right, there's over 7,000 people watching. Just subscribe to the channel. Use that link in the chat,
Let's
and
have a
let's
look.
get to 800,000. Go on.
Let's have a look at some of these comments, man. Let's keep this show rolling, you know what I mean? We just fucking beat them dicks. They're all going to be crying on YouTube and all those kind of... What?
No, go on. Don't ignore me. Go
What's
on.
that, you-
Keep talking.
Messing around with your fingers. What's all this about?
Jesus,
You want to turn me down?
No, I'm asking him a question. Go on. You go through the comments.
Artai Bayinde today, by the way. after his stinker, when was it? Spurs?
Massive.
Stinker against Spurs.
Yep.
Arguably made a mistake for the goal. You know, saves the penalty from Odegaard, which would have finished the game. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Saving 2
Harry
penalties as
Maguire,
well.
man of the match.
Yeah.
No, well, Bayern Day was, but...
Harry Maguire was man of the match.
Oh, look at you. Oh, I love Harry Maguire now because he tried to headbutt in Kai Havertz. Oh, he's my new Bezzy.
Mate,
pathetic. Joe's been in the trenches, right, with him since Mykonos. Yeah, back in the lad, through thick and thin. Yeah, and now, we beat Arsenal. I love Harry Maguire. Oh, and let me be Bezzy. Absolute fraud,
said it during the game, like he's found that Mykonos spirit.
Yeah.
That Mykonos.
He thought they were all pleased.
Back outside that bar. Hey, 1 hour in Coppers. Come on, let's have you.
If he would have decked Kai Havertz to the referee, I would have been fully behind him.
I'm glad he didn't. This is why we can't play football, because we'd have just been, everyone had been sent off. We'd be out of the cup and probably facing charges. Sat in a cell, just it all going wrong. But
Proper
instead,
Man United.
We're through. We're through. The Reds go marching on. We're going to be hearing from Andy Tate and Stephen Housen. So make sure you are hitting that like, share, and subscribe button.
She wore a scarlet ribbon. She wore a scarlet ribbon in a merry month of May. And when I asked her why she wore that ribbon, she said it's for United and we're going to Wembley.
It's only the fourth round.
Fourth round. United, we're going through the fourth round.
Yeah, we're going to the fourth round.
Thanks
That's
everyone
all
for
that
watching.
matters.
Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. I've been Jay. That's been Macca. That's been Joe. See you in the next one.